with coverage you can count on. This is WNEMTV5 News.
Well, good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody. We are almost to the weekend, which is very exciting. Yes. Thanks so much for waking up and hanging out with us on TV5. I'm Blake Keller.
We are so glad you're here with us. I'm Colette Stinger. We love it when you invite us in your home. Matthew is tracking the forecast. Okay, we know it's cold, cold, cold. How low are we getting today?
Well, temperatures are going to stay pretty cold. We're only talking mid-30s for today. That's over 10 degrees below average. So it's unseasonably cold for us here starting off April. We've even got some snow that we're tracking as well on the First Warn 5 Pinpoint Doppler live from MBS. Now that cell of lake effect snow showers has started to move out of Lapeer County, but still the rest of us are dry nonetheless as we start off our morning. Just cold, temperatures in the mid-20s, and with the wind out there, we have a sustained wind around 10 to 15 miles per hour for many locations around the Tri-Cities and in the Thumb. So combining that with temperatures, that's bringing wind chills down into the teens and even single digits up north. We have a wind chill of 9 degrees in Houghton Lake, 11 degrees in Oscoda and Gladwin. Over in the Thumb, a wind chill of 10 degrees in Bad Axe. So you want to make sure you have that extra layer as you step out the door this morning. Now over the next 8 hours, wind chills are going to be hanging around in the teens at least through lunchtime, and even this afternoon, wind chills still hanging around mostly in the 20s. So it's going to be pretty much a better day to stay inside if you don't like the cold. Now we are cold out there, but at least the live on time traffic information is showing that there are no hiccups on the roadways at the moment. So things are looking pretty good as you head out the door.
Matthew, thank you. Breaking overnight, a gunman in California killing 4 people, including a child, after opening fire at an office building. It happened last night around 5:30. Police say a 5th victim and the shooter are both in critical condition. At least one officer opened fire on that gunman, but it's unclear if his injuries were self-inflicted or from those shots. This tragic incident still under investigation, police unaware of a motive.
The Derek Chauvin murder trial resumes this morning after another day of gripping testimony and hard-to-watch video of George Floyd's final hours.
Yeah, Skylar Henry reports from Minneapolis.
Jurors in the Derek Chauvin trial watched video of George Floyd being restrained by police shortly before his death.
I am claustrophobic.
Parts of the body camera recordings had not been seen publicly before, including one which Chauvin reacts to what happened to Floyd.
Going to control this guy because he's a sizable guy.
Yeah, and I thought he get in the car.
Looks like he's probably on something.
Chauvin made that comment after being confronted at the scene by a witness who had urged Floyd to comply with the officers. Charles McMillan wept as he relived the moment in court. Another witness worked at the store where Floyd had just paid with an allegedly counterfeit $20 bill.
It kind of took him a little long to get to what he was trying to say, so it would appear that he was high.
Here in the city of Minneapolis, the Chauvin trial looms large, especially over at the neighborhood where Floyd was arrested last Memorial Day. Cedric Steele operates a restaurant down the block from Cub Foods. He says the trial has commanded his attention since the start.
George Floyd is all of us, you know what I mean? And it's just not just Minnesota, it's the whole world. It affected the whole world. So, yes, sir, I definitely would want justice, you know.
Today, prosecutors are expected to question investigators about technical aspects of the case. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Now, one juror yesterday had to take a break after some very emotional testimony and new evidence. She told the judge that she had a stress-related reaction, felt shaky, and has had trouble sleeping.
Students could soon be getting COVID-19 vaccines. That's after Pfizer found its shot effective in adolescents. Now, the company says clinical trial results showed 100% efficacy in children ages 12 to 15, and the age group tolerated those doses well. Now, researchers say there were no COVID-19 cases among the more than 1,000 participants given the vaccine. An infectious disease expert says it'll be up to the government to determine whether the vaccine will be given to younger kids.
And that's one reassuring mechanism to reassure the public that there are many, many eyes looking at the results, not just the company itself.
Pfizer will submit its results to the Food and Drug Administration as soon as possible to expand the emergency use authorization for that age group.
Now, Pfizer is also working on a ready-to-use vaccine that does not need to be diluted. It's Current vaccine comes in a concentrated formula that needs to be diluted before it's administered. Now, the new formulation is expected later this year once the FDA authorizes it. Back in Michigan, Governor Whitmer is blaming COVID variants for the high infection rates. Now, according to the CDC, Michigan has 1,200 known cases of the UK variant, which is easier to spread. Michigan ranks second in UK variant cases. That's right behind Florida.
And the more transmissible South African variant is also in Michigan, most recently turning up in Lapeer County. Yesterday alone, the state reported more than 6,300 new cases of COVID-19.
Now, the last time that we saw numbers this high in one day was months ago on December 7th. There were also 10 new deaths reported yesterday. Now, with cases on the rise, business owners fear that another shutdown could be coming.
Yeah, that's right. TV5's Trevor Sahaki joins us with more. Hey, Trevor, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Colette and Blake. While business owners keep their eye on those rising cases, one local restaurateur is holding out hope, saying one key difference may help them keep doors open.
Now that the vaccinations are happening, it feels a little different than it did the past 2 times, but it's still troublesome.
Governor Whitmer says more restrictions are unlikely, and she is ramping up vaccine distribution, aiming for 100,000 shots in arms daily.
We are going gangbusters on the vaccines.
Experts agree with that move, saying the vaccine is playing a vital role in saving lives. But it's a race against the clock as the UK variant grips our state. Epidemiologist Rick Sadler says there's not a lot of data on it yet, but the variant is more contagious and potentially more deadly. But there is some possible good news. While hospitalizations are going up, the death rate is much lower than the previous surge.
There could still be a time lag. So usually when we see spikes in cases, there's a lag of a few weeks because people don't just immediately drop, right? A lot of people will get it and then it gets worse and worse over time.
Sadler says another key difference, age. Younger people are the main group getting severe cases, and Sadler says that could cause this spike's death rate to be lower. In studio, Trevor Sahaki, WNEMTV5.
Okay, thank you for breaking that down for us, Trevor, this morning. Happening today, Representative Dan Kildee will be in Bay County visiting another vaccine clinic that's at Delta College. He'll be joined by health officials from the Bay County Health Department. The visit starts at 1 o'clock. That mass clinic is for Bay County residents registered with the health department. Now, you must have an appointment to attend.
The Saginaw Spirit celebrating another player making their NHL debut. Ivan Prosvetov hit the ice last night for the Arizona Coyotes. Now, the 22-year-old is a goalie. He played 65 games with the Spirit and is the team's 22nd Spirit player to make it to the NHL. So congratulations to Ivan. Go Spirit. That is very awesome. Saginaw represents, right, Colette?
That's right. Congratulations. Go Spirit. Well, let's play ball. It is opening day. The Tigers are hitting the turf at 1:10 this afternoon, kicking off the 2021 season. Matt Boyd is on the mound, starting the team's first series against the Cleveland Indians. Now, like most things, COVID has really changed some of this year's season. Fan capacity is limited at Comerica Park. Everyone must take a game day wellness survey as well. Plus, the park is going paperless, opting for mobile tickets and cashless payment methods. Now, face masks are mandatory and social distancing will be enforced. But teams will still play a full season of 162 action-packed games. Go Tigers, we love our Tigers.
Oh yeah, go Tigers, and I'm sure it'll definitely be a new experience, but at least sports are back. So.
And I did notice your tie, you are in the Spirit, you're right there, you've got it.
Blue and orange
You're ready to
represent.
Go
That's
Tigers!
right. TV5 News Time, 6:08.
President Biden unveils a new plan to improve the nation's infrastructure. We're going to tell you how much it will cost and what will be fixed.
Former President Trump's taxes still in limbo after a House committee subpoenaed them in 2019. Find out why the Department of Justice asked for a delay.
And here it is, a live look now at Bay City. I love this shot with all those beautiful lights out there. It's a cool start to the day. Bundle up so you stay warm and toasty this morning. It's like winter outside. Not an April Fool's joke. It is, it's true. If you are heading out and about, no major issues. Matthew has a look at your forecast after the break. Stick with us.
Welcome back to TV5 Wake-Up. Time for your morning mix. A court in Hong Kong convicting 9 prominent pro-democracy activists on charges of unauthorized assembly. Now, the activists were charged with organizing and taking part in a protest in Hong Kong on August 18th, 2019. Now, the judge says they'll be sentenced at a later date with the maximum penalty of 5 years in prison.
Well, another tough round of restrictions taking effect in France. President Macron made that announcement yesterday, saying the country must move in a new direction, risk losing control to COVID-19. Now, that's as the nation struggles with vaccine rollout. This is France's third national lockdown.
Oh, wow. Well, Justice Department lawyers want more time to decide if they will turn over former President Donald Trump's taxes to House lawmakers. Yesterday, they asked a judge for another month, and the House Ways and Means Committee subpoenaed Trump's taxes while he was still president, but the Treasury Department refused to comply before the House filed that lawsuit.
Some exciting news here. More theaters are opening their doors to moviegoers, and studios are so eager to finally release those blockbusters that have just been sitting on the shelf for the past year.
Oh, yeah, lots of anticipation. But the big question will be, will audiences flock back to the theater as well? Chris Martinez takes a look.
With the cut of a ribbon, the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood reopened this week, a year after the pandemic forced the iconic movie house to close.
We have spent the last year prepping and preparing for our reopening for you, our amazing audiences.
Across the country, relaxed COVID restrictions have allowed more theaters to open, with Regal Cinemas slated to reopen hundreds of their screens Friday. It's good news for movie studios, sitting on a backlog of would-be blockbusters, wondering if audiences will show up.
What's been really encouraging to Hollywood is just how many tickets have been selling internationally.
Variety Magazine's Rebecca Rubin says the year's first major test, Godzilla vs. Kong, is off to a strong start in China, where it raked in $70 million in its opening weekend.
We need Kong.
Theaters and studios alike are hoping American audiences are also ready to open their wallets.
People do want to come back to theaters. When they feel it's safe, they will get back.
Making audiences feel safe is a priority for theaters, most of which are going the extra mile to make sure customers see their COVID precautions.
IMAX CEO Richard Gelfond addressed the issue with CBS's Margaret Brennan.
They have to evoke cleanliness when you come in, and I think the staff has to continue to handle egress and exit in certain ways that make people feel safe.
And if audiences show up this summer, the film industry could finally get its happily ever after. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Now, despite the reopenings, several summer movies like Black Widow and In the Heights will come out at the same time on streaming platforms. I'm sure people are going to get back in there. Everyone's excited.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and business owners, restaurant owners, they're all really following those safety protocols for COVID.
I was going to say they really nailed them down.
Yeah.
We got the vaccination efforts ramping up. So, Matthew, you got any fun movies that you're planning to see?
Honestly, not at the moment, though. I think when the theaters open back up, it might just be like, just go and pick one out right on the fly.
Anything, right? Just to get out and get your popcorn that you want.
Yeah,
yes.
Delicious,
Get
yummy
the popcorn, the huge pop.
Yeah.
Free refills.
Yes, exactly. I do miss the movie theater. It's a fun time. Now, today might be a better day to stay inside, though. And we'll say maybe streaming a movie. It's going to be pretty cold and pretty breezy. Now, we're taking a live look out in Mount Pleasant there from Moore Hall on CMU's campus. And we can see it's dry, but it's definitely cold out there. A temperature of only 24 degrees in Mount Pleasant right now. Feels like 14 thanks to that 9-mile-per-hour wind. So at least we're drying out. We had some quick snow showers move through Mount Pleasant yesterday evening and into the overnight, but at least we are dry. Now the first 4 and 5 pinpoint Doppler live from MBS showing this little cell here of lake effect snow showers that's started to move really south of I-69. So really not much for us to worry about anymore. All of us are pretty dry out there at the moment, and we'll start to clear out throughout the day. That's all thanks to this wall of high pressure that's off to our west. And on the first 4 and 5 sky tracker, we are going to track that west or eastward movement, excuse me, but that'll help us to clear out as we go through the afternoon today. So on the first 4 and 5 hour by hour, I'll show you that as we go at least towards 8 o'clock, we still have the chance for just some scattered light lake effect snow showers in the thumb. But then by lunchtime, we start to dry out, and even by dinner time tonight, we're looking pretty clear. So that sun really will be coming out, but temperatures are still going to stay pretty cold thanks thanks to our northerly wind flow and just the fact that the sun is going to be coming out pretty later into the daytime hours. Now through the overnight, we'll still stay pretty clear and dry. It's just going to be cold, so tomorrow morning around 5 to 6 o'clock when you're headed out the door, you're going to want to have that extra layer with you. Now through the rest of the day tomorrow, even by lunchtime, it's still going to be much of the same case. Pretty clear out there. We might see a few high clouds pass through, but overall we'll have an abundance of sunshine tomorrow and we'll be much warmer as well. And as for today, it's still going to be pretty breezy, so we'll still say that the trash can will be tipped over nearby. Some of these wind gusts will be reaching 25 miles per hour this afternoon. Now by the evening, our wind starts to turn out of the northwest and it'll start to dial it back more towards the single digits. Now, we will have some wind chills in play today thanks to those stronger winds. So we'll see some wind chills by lunchtime, just cracking that 20-degree mark pretty much off to the west of I-75. But over in the thumb, some of these wind chills can still be down in the teens. Even by dinner time tonight, we're still looking at wind chills inching up a little further, but still in the 20s overall and the teens for the thumb. But then as we go through the overnight and towards tomorrow, wind chills won't be as much of a factor. So today overall, we're looking at mid-30s, that northerly wind helping to keep us cooler. Then tonight with that clearing, we drop to the low 20s and we've got teens even further up north. Now over the next 5 days here, we do have temperatures on the up and up. The weekend is looking nice in the 60s and the first part of next week looking even a little warmer. Now the Climate Prediction Center also has much of mid-Michigan here under the 60 to 70% chance of above average temperatures. So that indicates a fair degree of confidence that we'll still be above average Tuesday through Saturday of next week. So this warmer trend for next week is looking like it's going to be continuing with 50s and 60s. So we're taking a look at the next 7 days here and we can see temperatures again on the up and up starting tomorrow. And for the weekend, Easter still looking great. Variably cloudy skies, highs in the mid 60s. Now the first part of next work week, we are tracking a couple of rounds of rain. Still a slim chance at the moment. We'll continue to iron that out, but at least temperatures looking towards 70 by Tuesday of next week.
Get rid of this cold weather today. Little snow flurries that may pop up. Thank you, Matthew. TV5 News Time, 6:22.
Governor Whitmer ramping up vaccine distribution, why she says it's the only way back to normalcy.
That's right. And Ford pressing pause on production of its trucks. What shortage is causing the delays?
All right, here's a live look outside now at Saginaw. Look at that beautiful shot. First day of April. You see that sun trying to come out in the distance. Otherwise, it is a chilly start. But we have so much more to come here on TV5 Wake Up. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, I see the sun back there.
Yeah.
Blake? Yeah. All right. In dollars and cents this morning, a worldwide shortage of computer chips is forcing Ford to halt production of its F-150 pickup. Now, the Dearborn, Michigan plant where the trucks are assembled will be closed for 2 weeks starting on Monday. Ford will also reduce or suspend production at 5 other North American plants. The automaker has said the ongoing chip shortage could cause its 2021 earnings to fall as much as $2.5 billion.
Shipments of Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine could be delayed because of a subcontractor's manufacturing error. 15 million doses were reportedly ruined when workers mistakenly used ingredients meant for a different vaccine. Now, the Baltimore facility where it happened will remain closed while the FDA investigates. All right, TV5 News Time right now, 6:26.
A community effort to honor a former TV5 reporter and CMU sports broadcaster. Find out how you can help.
With coverage you can count on, this is WNEMTV5 News.
Good morning. Starting off with a live look over mid-Michigan today. Hello, winter. Yes, it is back. Just go outside and you will feel it. So make sure you grab a jacket before you head out the door. It is a chilly start to the day, but good news, traffic is moving right along this morning. Happy Friday Eve. We are almost there, and it is, get it? It is what? The first day of April.
Can you believe it?
I cannot believe it, Blake. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for waking up with TV5. We love it when you spend your morning with us. I'm Colette Stinger.
And I'm Blake Keller. Certainly glad you're here this morning on this April 1st. No jokes here. It is pretty cold out. Mathieu Mondro is also here this morning. And yeah, we're feeling it, Matthew. Pretty chilly.
We are. It is definitely chilly. I know I had the heat cranked up in my car this morning. And it's April Fool's Day. I really wish that this cold air was a joke. joke, but in all seriousness, it is pretty cold. Now, we have been tracking some snow throughout the morning, just some light lake effect snow showers in the Thumb on the First Warn 5 Pinpoint Doppler live from MBS. But luckily, those have moved out south of I-69. Really, the rest of us are looking dry at the moment. So temperatures out the door this morning are pretty cold. We're talking mid-20s out there. It really feels like a winter morning. Some of these sustained winds, even getting up above 10 miles per hour. We've got a sustained wind of 12 in Sandusky, 13 in Caro and Saginaw, 14 miles per hour in Flint. So combining that with temperatures is bringing wind chills down into the teens and even single digits. We do have a 9-degree wind chill up in Houghton Lake, 12 in Oscoda, 13 in Caro, and 15 in Owasso. So make sure you have that extra layer as you're headed out the door. And even over the next 8 hours, we will see wind chills mainly hanging around in the teens, at least through lunchtime, due to the colder temperatures and the stronger winds that we have today. Now, it is a cold start to the morning, but the live on-time traffic information is showing that things are looking good out there at the moment. No hiccups on the roadways, so I wouldn't expect any holdups as you hit the road this morning.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. Well, it's a dream many presidents had, infrastructure.
Yeah, but now President Joe Biden is launching a sprawling plan to rebuild the nation's infrastructure.
That's right, Nancy Cortez has all the details.
Now it's time to rebuild.
President Biden said the scope of his new infrastructure plan rivals the space race and the construction of the interstate highway system.
It's not a plan that tinkers around the edges. It's a once-in-a-generation investment in America.
$620 billion would be used to fix traditional infrastructure, including 20,000 miles of highways and roads and more than 10,000 bridges. $650 billion more would go towards installing universal broadband, replacing lead pipes and service lines, strengthening the electrical grid, and building affordable housing.
It will create millions of jobs, good-paying jobs.
The U.S. lags behind 12 other nations when it comes to infrastructure quality.
That bridge was kind of really in bad shape.
Rich Fitzgerald is Allegheny County executive. For a decade, he has been hoping to extend this busway to towns outside Pittsburgh.
30, 40 years ago, when those mills shut down, those communities still have not recovered. So to be able to connect those communities to the job centers provides opportunities.
Does your county have the money to fund these projects on its own?
No, not even close.
The White House wants to raise those funds by increasing the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%, and by hiking taxes on overseas earnings.
If it's a Trojan horse for a massive tax increase, put me down as highly skeptical.
Nancy Cortez, CBS News, Washington.
President Biden also spoke on climate change during his speech in Pennsylvania yesterday, saying his American Jobs Plan will lead to transformational progress in the fight against climate change and bring the country into a clean energy future.
Well, on the vaccine front, Governor Whitmer is reluctant to ease up on mask mandates and capacity limits, saying that vaccines are the way back to normalcy.
Yeah, that's right. In an interview with CNN, Whitmer announced she's upping Michigan's vaccine goal from 50,000 shots a day to 100,000.
We are going gangbusters on the vaccines, and that's really where people need to have their personal responsibility, following the protocols and getting themselves vaccinated. It's the best thing for them individually and for our economy.
Now, to date, Michigan has given out more than 4.2 million shots in arms.
Yeah, nearly 34% of Michiganders 16 and up have received at least one dose, moving the state closer to its goal of vaccinating at least 70% of residents as soon as possible. An important reminder, as more and more people get vaccinated, there can be side effects.
That's right. As with other vaccines, you might experience symptoms like pain, redness, and swelling right in the area of your shot. People even get skin rashes, but doctors say if you have any of those symptoms, don't panic.
So anything from a headache to a feeling of muscle aches or fatigue, and just feeling maybe even chills and fever. Signs that your immune system is responding to the vaccine.
Health officials say if you continue to experience symptoms 3 days after vaccination, then you should reach out to your doctor.
Also, the community is working to honor a beloved man near and dear to our TV5 family, Don Shido.
Yeah, that's right. Shido, a former employee and CMU sports broadcaster, died in a car crash in December of 2019.
Now, friends and family are raising money to name a piece of CMU after him.
Yeah, and here to tell us how you can also help in that effort is TV5's Trevor Sahaki. Trevor, hey, good morning.
Good morning, you two. As you mentioned, Don Shido was a former TV5 reporter, as well as the voice of the Chippewas for over a decade, calling the play-by-play for CMU men's football and basketball. And now the community is rallying to honor him. Matt Columbus, Shido's son-in-law, is organizing the fundraiser to memorialize Shido. Columbus convinced the CMU athletic department to name the broadcast booth at the stadium in Shido's name. Hundreds have donated already, giving Shido's family light during a dark time.
We knew Don as just, a goofy dad, a goofy father-in-law, a tennis player. We didn't really know how many people his actions impacted. It's one thing to get well wishes from people. It's another when they're willing to, reach into, their hard-earned money and donate to a cause.
Family members have been blown away by the support from the CMU community and are grateful for the opportunity to keep Shido's memory alive in one of his favorite places. And if you'd like to make a donation to the Don Shido Memorial Fund, go to the Hot Links section of the TV5 homepage. In studio, I'm Trevor Sahaki, WNEMTV5.
A well-deserved honor. Thank you, Trevor, for that story. A TV5 scam alert this morning targeting college students and staff who think they may be getting a tax refund.
The IRS warns of phony emails displaying the agency logo with subject lines of tax refund payment or recalculation of your tax refund. Potential victims are then asked to click a link and submit a claim form.
That's right. So if you get an email like that, if it pops up in your inbox, report it to the IRS immediately. And a warning from Attorney General Dana Nessel on text message scams. The AG's office reporting an uptick of these scams called smishing. And they're related to COVID-19 vaccine surveys. Now listen to this. The FTC says that people across the country are getting texts just out of the blue, asking them to complete the survey to get a free reward. Now the catch, the scammers ask you to pay for shipping, and that's when they get your credit card information. So what can you do to protect yourself?
Well, according to the FTC, don't click on any links or attachments, and don't give out your account information, and report any smishing texts to the number 7726 or spam for investigation. You can also filter any unwanted texts through your wireless provider or a call blocking app.
Yes, please watch out and be aware of these. A lot of scams out there. TV5 News Time this morning, 6:38. Coming up, COVID cases climbing right here in Michigan. What Governor Whitmer says is to blame for that spike.
And stick around, we'll share the story of a local pom-pom team's bid for victory. Well, breaking overnight, another mass shooting last night, this time just outside Los Angeles.
It's devastating now. Naomi Ruckham tells us what happened in the nation's third deadly shooting in just over 2 weeks.
A child is among the 4 people killed yesterday during a shooting at an office building in Orange, California.
Upon arrival, the officers discovered shots that were actively being fired, and our officers did engage in an officer-involved shooting.
The call for shots fired came around 5:30 p.m. Signs outside the building indicate a handful of businesses inside include an insurance office, a financial consulting firm, and a legal services business.
It's my understanding that it's an upstairs and a downstairs with a courtyard area. It is a situation that was moving from different areas, so it is my understanding that it's throughout that area.
Witnesses say sounds of the shooting were quickly followed by an apparent gun battle with police.
All of a sudden I heard about 5 to 7 gunshots go off, and then waited a couple minutes, and then the police came, and then I heard a few more gunshots go off.
I can tell you Orange is a very safe city, and we don't have stuff like this that happens very often.
Family members gathered outside the building after the shooting, waiting to learn about their loved ones. Paul Tovar was looking for his brother and niece, who both work inside.
I'm just trying to find out his well-being. He's not answering his phone, neither's my niece. I'm pretty scared and worried. I wish I knew more. I don't know. Right now, I'm just praying really hard.
This is the city's deadliest shooting since 1997. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Just heartbreaking. Right now, 2 others, including the suspect, are hospitalized in critical condition.
And now your first Horn 5 forecast, certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
Well, good Thursday morning to you, Mid-Michigan. It's cold out there. Feels more like a February morning rather than an April morning, but at least we've started to dry out. We're taking a look out at I-69 from the Knapheide building. We can see we've still got some cloud coverage that we're dealing with there. That's kind of a cool shot, though. We can see just some breaks in the clouds here, just some peaks of sunshine coming through this morning, but it's still cold out there. Now, the first Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler live from MBS is showing, again, this main cell of lake effect snow showers that we saw earlier this morning. That's moved off to our south now. Overall, we're dry. It's looking like we do have just a narrow stream of lake effect snow going into the Houghton Lake area there in Roscommon County. But overall, again, we are dry. Now, the first Warn 5 sky tracker, we're tracking this wall of high pressure off to our west. That'll move eastward throughout the day and the overnight. That'll help to clear out our skies, giving way to a dry weekend ahead. Now, I'll show you on the first Warn 5 hour by hour that around 8 o'clock this morning, we still have the chance for some scattered light lake effect snow showers over in the thumb, but overall the rest of us are going to be dry. Now by lunchtime we completely dry out around mid-Michigan, and even by dinner time skies clear out, and we're really looking at an abundance of sunshine for our evening tonight, and those clear skies are going to remain the case as we go through the overnight. Now by your morning commute tomorrow morning, we'll still be dry and still clear. It's just going to be cold out there due to the absence of that cloud coverage. So you're going to want to make sure that you have that extra layer as you head out the door tomorrow morning on your way to work or to school. Now, by noon tomorrow, by around lunchtime, we're still looking at plenty of sunshine around the area. Temperatures will luckily be warmer as well. We might see just a few high clouds move through the area, but still overall, we're going to be seeing plenty of sun for your Friday. Still going to be pretty breezy today, though, as we do have some more active weather that's exiting off to our east. So we'll say that the trash can will be more tipped over nearby. Some of these wind gusts this afternoon could reach 25 miles per hour. Now this evening our wind starts to shift more to the northwest, and it starts to dial it back more towards the single digits, but we still will have some wind chills in play throughout our day today. So this is by lunchtime. We're looking at wind chills that are still going to be just at that 20-degree mark for locations west of I-75, but over in the thumb and up north, some of these wind chills are going to be down into the teens. Now by dinner time, they'll start to inch up a little more towards the 30-degree mark, but still wind chills in the 20s overall by dinner time, and still hanging on in the teens for the thumb. So it's going to feel pretty cold out there. But today overall, we're looking at temperatures reaching the mid-30s. That's over 10 degrees below average. Those gusts still getting up to 25. Then tonight we clear out, temperatures going down to the low 20s. We've got even teens further up north, but at least those winds will be calming down again as we go into the overnight. Now over the next 5 days, temperatures are looking on the up and up. We're looking at 60s for the weekend. We've even got 70 on the radar as well here in the temperature department. So finally, we just have to really deal with this cold air today before we give way to warmer temps over the next 7 days. So we can see that sunshine for tomorrow. Easter is looking great. Variably cloudy skies, highs in the mid-60s. Now the beginning of next work week, we're tracking multiple chances of rain, I should say, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but still those warmer temperatures will be in store for us, Colette and Blake.
All right, just a few more days to get through, and then we're cruising through the great weather.
Smooth sailing. I'm ready for it.
All right,
beautiful
me too.
Easter weekend.
You already know it.
I know, right?
Well, a local high school pom-pom team chasing victory, but the pandemic has made competitions more difficult than ever.
But they are ready for it. You're going to love the story. Here to tell us about one team's journey to this year's pom-pom championships, TV5's Trevor Sahaki. Hey, Trevor.
Hey, Colette and Blake. Now, we're talking legacy here with Hemlock High School's pom-pom team. After years of missing the podium at state championships, 4 years ago, they finally won and then kept winning for 3 years in a row. But COVID threatened their reign. Pom-pom and pandemics don't mix well, especially if you're trying to make history.
We had to keep up our energy because if the energy went down in practice, it was just going to be a rough practice. Once someone's energy goes down, it picks up. Everyone starts kind of, it's like a domino effect. Yeah.
Hemlock High School's pom-pom captains Jenna Golonska and Madison Frommels were attempting to lead their girls to a 4th state championship in a row.
At the beginning, we were kind of like, once we started losing girls or having girls get injured or sick, in the beginning, we were kind of like, oh, come on. But towards the end, we were just like used to it to a point where we were just like, oh, here we go again.
When Hemlock High went virtual in the winter, the team wasn't able to practice in a gym. So they developed choreography over Zoom and sent in footage of them practicing.
And then we even had a girl who was quarantined because she was exposed at school. and her get out of quarantine date was the day of states. So she hadn't practiced with the team in person for like 2 weeks.
Head coach Mariah Curtis was on the team when she was a student. Of course, this year's competition was much different than hers.
Usually you're like all jittery and stuff because you're waiting like in line and stuff. Nope, you just walk into the gym, you perform, and you walk out. And it was mind-boggling. Like I was like, yeah, everything happened just so fast.
Then, a 24-hour wait for results. So when they came in, they were all the sweeter.
It's definitely something that like one day I'll tell like my great grandchildren. Now I'm kidding. Like that'd be like, yep, I won. Like being able to take them back to Hemlock and in the gym and show them the banners. You know, like it's something to be proud of and to carry on like through life.
Definitely something to be proud of. So Colette and Blake, you can count them up. 4 state championships, 4 years in a row for these girls. And for Coach Curtis, she's been head coach for 3 years now, an assistant before that, so she got to experience the magic too.
I love it.
Wow, if that didn't pep you up this morning, I don't know what will. They are amazing, 4 in a row.
Yeah, absolutely incredible.
That's definitely a talent that I don't have, that they have, and I'm glad they do because
Trevor,
they're great.
So much like Trevor, discipline and dedication with those young ladies. I'm sure you could, when you talk with them, you could feel it, right?
Oh, 100%. They put everything that they have into this, and you know, even though the first time winning, their first win was incredible, 4 years in a row. I mean, like I said, that's legacy.
Oh, they're like, let's do it again.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. All right,
Nothing
Trevor.
stopping them.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Now look back for some today's top headlines.
Yeah. Governor Whitmer is blaming COVID variants for the high infection rates. According to the CDC, Michigan has 1,200 known cases of the UK variant, which is easier to spread. Now, Michigan ranked 2nd in UK variant cases, right behind Florida. The more transmissible South African variant is also in Michigan, most recently turning up in Lapeer County.
And this morning, the U.S. could set a new record for migrants at the southern border this fiscal year. A government projection shows Border Patrol could encounter more than 2 million people just before September 30th. Most of the migrants are single adults, and some of them could be repeat crossers. Now, the last time the number of migrants at the border came even close to this year was in 2006. Encounters topped 1 million that year. That's a lot. All right, here's what's ahead on CBS This Morning.
Coming up, America's latest mass shooting. 4 people killed in a Southern California office building. Plus, the first female Deputy Secretary of Defense, Kathleen Hicks, on breaking barriers at the Pentagon. Coming up on CBS This Morning.
Okay, Blake, it's our favorite time of the day.
Oh, yeah.
That music right there means it's time to introduce you to the TV5 Pet of the Day. Oh my gosh, let's meet Penny.
Oh, Penny, just like she looks like a penny with her coat. As a 2-year-old terrier mix ready to go to a happy home. Penny is super playful and friendly, but she doesn't get along with other animals, so a single pet home would be a perfect fit for her.
Look at that smile. She's beautiful.
Happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, if you'd like to bring her home with you, we will have that information on our website, WNEM.com. I'm sure she'll bring lots of hugs and kisses to your home and smiles and make you feel good.
Oh, yeah. All right, Matthew, how's our weather shaping up?
It's not making us feel good today.
Penny is very cute, but yeah, maybe today would be the day to stay inside if you have the dogs. We've got temperatures only reaching the mid-30s today, but then tomorrow we're on the up and up. We've got 60s for the weekend and upper 60s by the start of next week.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for waking up with us this morning. We love it.
Yes, caught me off guard, but I hope you have a great day, everyone. We will see you again at 9.
See ya.